I felt pretty lost, when I was like back then, like a year ago from now. I would say like I didn't know what it was that I wanted to do, what I wanted to choose.
What would you tell them to do differently starting tomorrow? Like, what's one thing they can go implement tomorrow to start getting different results? This guy was making 29K working in a warehouse just a little bit ago until he joined Sword and we helped him land a tech sales role that's going to more than double his income. We're going to walk through his whole journey, how he got here, especially with no tech background at all. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. So enjoy. Let's go back to kind of pre Sword, right? Like you're making what was it,
Yeah.
around like 29K in a warehouse. Um, didn't really
Mhm.
have that career long term. What was making 29K a year, being in that warehouse role? Like, what was that doing to you financially? Were there things that you wanted to buy but you couldn't afford, or like what was kind of the big bummer there?
I would say, yeah, I mean, it probably wasn't enough. I mean, I'm young, so I don't really have that much responsibility as to where it's like, I don't have kids. I don't pay that much rent right here. So I do live with my mom, just me and my mom. So we we split everything. So my responsibilities are not that big. But reason why I kind of just wanted to change was probably just, I don't know. I think I'm someone who just like, you know, see myself doing more. So I just didn't see myself doing that like for the rest of my life, just being in a warehouse, working. I kind of use it as a stepping stone. So like, everybody has to go through the phase where they're just, trying to get something else going. So you're doing something in the meantime to get you going there. Like I said, a stepping stone.
Hmm.
But what really kind of just sparked it was for me was just like I just wanted to change my life. I just, wanted to do better to help provide, for a family in the future as well. Also like family that I have right now, and then maybe like a future wife and the kids that I would have. I would definitely want to be able to provide for them. So I'm definitely looking for the future myself. So
That's
I think
beautiful.
that's kind of what
Beautiful,
really,
man. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, doubling your income and more is not a bad start to improving the
yeah,
future. So that's crazy.
yeah.
So before we met, I think you had mentioned you had thrown in hundreds of applications for tech sales, like maybe 600, 700, something crazy like that, right?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, it was something I was just blindly applying, to be honest. I would just throw an application, and then I probably would hit up like somebody on the team, but nothing serious.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, trying to get a referral, but nobody's really like, I don't even know this guy, nobody's really doing it like that.
Hmm.
You really got to really like reach out to the actual right people. So, I mean, yeah, the program kind of just niched down on doing all that. So,
What was going through your head when you didn't have the sword process and you were doing this job search alone? Did you feel stuck? Did you feel defeated? How were you actually feeling when you were hundreds of apps deep with no fruit?
um, yeah, it definitely gets to you as like, maybe this is not for you,
Hmm.
maybe like it's a sign from, God to just, maybe it's not for you not to do it. But I'm somebody who, when I pick something, I really try to stick it through. And so I told myself even before joining Sword, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna stick it through no matter what.
Hmm.
Like no matter how long it takes, I'm gonna land one of these roles, and it happens. So it does get to you though when you're just like, I think biggest one for me was just probably if this is for me,
Yeah.
but everything it works out in the end. So
Yeah. So when you jumped into Sword, then what did you feel like you started doing much differently that got you much different results? Like what would help people listening right now who might be doing it the way you used to be doing it?
probably actually calling the managers, actually doing the work. What it says in the system, like what the program has, what it says to do, just really just doing it. Because I remember also too, first month that I joined the program, I was like already having doubts, and I was hitting up other people in the sword program, like, and then just probably some words of encouragement is kind of what helps as well, so other people who already had results, I was texting, I forgot his name. There was just another dude in the program that I was kind of like communicating with him.
Yeah.
We were both just like, yeah, like let's just stick it through, it's gonna work out. And I mean, like I said, it worked out in the end. So
Yeah.
I think what really stand out was probably, yeah, calling managers. So like I said, doing the job, and then honestly, it is being consistent. I think it's more of a volume thing, to be honest, too. It comes down to volume. Like it's just, if you're only doing 2 jobs a day, it's gonna obviously take you longer versus somebody who's doing around 20,
Yeah.
So it's a lot of volume, just consistency, and just following the system. So that's what I would say.
So you went from not landing interviews at all. You joined Sword. Now you're applying. Now we're landing interviews. What was that change like for you? Where it was like, holy crap, like, okay, I'm actually landing interviews now. Now I have to learn how to interview. What were some of the harder parts about that, and what are you proud of?
Um, hardest thing probably about the interviews was probably trying to do like the no experience objection,
Hmm.
because they're always looking for that, like not having experience. So that was always a big like thing for me. And I think way that I would kind of go about like trying to prove to whoever it was I was interviewing with was just showing them like, you know, how I even got the interview. Like I'm doing the job to get here. I would always bring that up. Like, man, like I know these other people, they probably applied and they got the resume, they got and all that, but they're not doing like the work that I'm doing, outreaching you and hitting up other people on the team and really like staying consistent with calling you and sending these emails. And they kind of realize like, you know what, he's right. So and that's kind of really how I got my job right now, the role that I got right now. My manager, like, she really liked that I was doing all that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I would say, like, was the hard part for me, was like the experience objection. So I would just kind of like, I would tell them like, I'm here, I'm doing the job, like I'm in your face right now, and this is me. I did I landed this interview, even if I don't get the job, but I'm just staying consistent with it. And they like when you're just pretty confident and just showing that you can do the job,
Hmm.
So
That's
that's
probably
what I
where
would say.
most of our listeners are stuck because they don't have tech experience and they're trying to break in. And you can be an amazing candidate, you can make it to final rounds, but if you haven't separated yourself enough, then in that final round with you is probably three other people. Two of them probably have SDR experience. So it's like, dang,
Yeah.
usually they're going to go with the other people. So I feel like most people get stuck there. Um, and so what I hear you saying is because you made the cold calls, because you followed up over email, because you were putting in extra work, no one else was. Maybe that gave them enough confidence to
Mhm.
go, hey, yeah, Isaac's new. Yeah, he comes from a warehouse background, right? Um, but
Yeah.
he's outworking everyone else, and I think that's
Yeah. I think also too what it was with my manager, I feel like me and her could relate a lot too, because even on the interview, I got she told me she wanted me to get like really personal on why I'm actually even looking for a job. So I'm not gonna lie, me and her really connected pretty deep on the interviews, and we're both like, I'm a Latino. She's also from like Hispanic heritage too, so
Mhm.
we kind of had a lot in common in that too. She told me that her family, growing up as well, just working in the fields and warehouse, and that's kind of what my family is as well.
Mhm.
Kind of just trying to make a change and do different, going to into corporate and all that.
Mhm.
So I think she kind of just seen a younger version of herself in me. So, just trying to do something different. So that's kind of what it was as well. Probably just
Yeah.
more, instead of just showing you can do the job as well. I would say another thing is a great tip is trying to actually connect on a personal level with whoever you're interviewing with. So
Full agree.
that's probably another thing.
I talk
Yeah.
about this a lot because I've been the manager. I've been the guy, like right now we could be in an interview. You're interviewing for my team.
Yeah.
And the thing is if you don't have tech experience, you are always going to be the person that the manager has to take a bet on. Like, all right, Isaac,
Hmm.
look, I know you don't have the experience, but you've proved to me you know what you're doing, and I really believe in your story. So I'm going to take a chance on you. So if you don't have
Hmm.
experience, you kind of just have to accept and embrace that's how managers are going to pick you. At the end of the day, it's going to be like, hey, I'm going to take a chance on you, but that's okay because what you have shown me if I were to be interviewing you is, hey, I'm confident that you're going to learn the skill set because you're already showing me things that other people with experience aren't doing, and I'm connected to you. I'm bought in. I know that we're going to have some tough months together. You're going to be behind on quota, whatever it is. But that thing that we have in common, I know that's going to push you. And there's like a real deep reason. You don't want to be in tech just because I want to work remote or I want to make a lot of money. It's like the why behind that. Oh, because I want to be able to take care of my mom one day. That's going to push you to work hard. Or, oh, I want to show up better for my kids. that's going to help you through those rough days. So that's a really good point to call out.
Yeah, definitely. And then as well, she said too, touching back on, putting in the work. She because I was kind of saying as well too, like I feel like you can learn the skill, but I don't think you can teach like hard work.
Mm.
So and that's what like she kind of seen that as well, because she was even saying too, yeah, there's other people who I'm interviewing and they have experience, but she was like, I like how and exactly how I said that, like you can teach skill, but you can't really teach hard work. It's just you're just either born with it or you're not, and that's what I think like I said, she really liked that. So
Was
and then
there
again touching with them personal.
Was there anything
Huh?
specific about the leadership round? Because the manager round went well. She likes you good, but that leadership round can be
Mhm.
brutal. Was there anything specific there that you learned that you think would help anyone listening?
Oh yeah, this one was different. It wasn't really like anybody above them, the interview. The other interview was just, I think, another sales leader.
Okay.
So she was, because for the company I work for, there's like three different sets of like sales groups. So, and I'm actually so me and I think three other guys, so two other guys, so in total three of us. Them two work for the other side. I think it's two, yeah, two different sales sides. So one is more corporate and all that, and then I sell to more smaller businesses
Cool.
such as like state and local, and these guys sell to the more big size companies.
Mhm.
So what it was is like she had the other manager that works on the other one come on the interview as well, and so she just wanted to interview with that, and I guess she really liked me as well.
Mm.
So that's kind of how it really went down. They both really liked me. So first interview was the manager that I was going to be working for, and then second interview was she brought in the other manager from the other sales side. So,
Cool.
and that they both really
So
liked
the
me.
same rule applies, like really build that emotional connection, get that like rapport, get the vibes, as the kids say, get those in.
Yeah,
Then you're gonna have both people advocating for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
How did you find out you got the offer, and what did that moment feel like, man? Because that's months of work. That
Oh yeah, dude, it felt good. I remember I was actually at work at the warehouse on my I was actually like mid work and I checked my phone and I just see an email from it wasn't from the manager, it was from the HR guy. His name is Juan.
hmm,
He's a younger guy as well. He's the one I think that sends out like the offers and all that. And
yeah,
I just sent an email from the company named Smarsh, and it's from him saying like, "Hey Isaac, do you have time for a call later on today or tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." I didn't know what it was going to be about, but I was just like, "Yeah, like you can call me tomorrow. I'll make time." So um, right before actually I got off work, so I was just waiting all day for the next day, and I did the interview. I had work the next day at 9 a.m. So I said, "Oh, I can meet at 8 a.m." So I did the meeting at 8 a.m. and they were just practically it was my manager and him on the call, and they were like, "We got good news,"
no,
and I was like, "Ah." Yeah, and it's like they want to offer me the job, and so I accepted it right there. And I remember, yeah, I was just like, finally. I remember just thinking, as soon as I hung up, I got in my car and went to work, and I was just blasting like music, just in a good mood. Just I was like, finally, like it was just like finally, like I worked for it, and I think I deserved it. And I think the first thing I did as well was I called my brother, and he was just like, like congratulating me, so
hmm,
it was a good feeling. It was definitely like it's one of those feelings where it's like you work for it, so and it finally happened. So it's just that feeling that finally it happened.
yeah.
So
What did
it was a
your
good feeling.
what did
I
your mom
remember it.
say?
I told her about it. She doesn't really know too much about like what it is that I do. She's like, more like she's not tapped in all of the,
Classic mom. Yeah.
work from home. Yeah, she's just like, I don't know what it is that you do, but she's supportive, so it's like whatever it is that she sees me doing, she supports what I do, my goals. So
Yeah.
I like that. She's very just like if you're happy doing it and it's what you want to do, you see yourself doing it, and that's good for you. So I like that.
What would you have told Isaac from months ago who was really questioning tech sales, who was really questioning, like, God, maybe there's a sign from you that I shouldn't be in tech? Now, you sitting over here on this side, if you got a chance to talk to Isaac from months ago, what would you say?
Months ago, I would probably say like stick it through, because it all happened so short, to be honest. Like, from me joining the program to from me even actually deciding I wanted to do sales to me joining the program, it was a short amount of time. I remember I used to work at, I remember if you remember this tire shop. So I was part-time there, and I remember just like looking like, what is it can I do that can, make some money, or, how can I like improve, because I don't like the situation I'm in now. So what is some things that I can do? And I remember just going online, searching up like high income skills, and sales was one. And I was like, you know what? I think like sales kind of really aligns with me. It's a lot of like the work you put in is kind of, you kind of control your own income, so it's kind of, it's not, you're just stuck. It's like room for improvement at all times in sales. So that's why I really kind of chose it. And I was like, that kind of really aligns with me. So something I was telling myself back then is just honestly, yeah, pick one thing and just stick with it.
Mm.
Because I think for a while, like my younger self, I was kind of just, I think it's problem I had was like procrastination. So I would think all these things that I wanted to do, but I wouldn't really take action on it. So if I was to tell myself something from back then, is just pick one thing, stick with it, and just don't give up on it. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a spectrum of how acceptable it is to kind of go into analysis paralysis. And what I mean by that is like as a young kid, of course you're paralyzed by so many options like who do I want to be? What degree do I want to do? Do I go to school? Do I not? There's a
Mhm.
lot of decisions, but the longer you wait to commit to something, the further down the road you're going to get that reward. For example, someone who gets into tech sales at 18 years old, dude, 10 years down the road, they're going to be making 500 grand at 28 versus the guy who's 28 deciding to get in the door now. And so it's hard to know when
Mhm.
you're that young, but there is this very real kind of point of diminishing return where it's like, yo, I got to do something because really all we're doing is
Yeah.
procrastinating and it's fear of failure and it's analysis paralysis and unfortunately the way life works is like no one's really going to care that someone got stuck in life because that's not their life. Like no one cares about your success
Yeah.
more than you do, right? And so for you
Yeah.
to finally draw a line in the sand and be like, no, I'm going all in on this, dude, now the next 10 years of your life are going to look radically different.
Yeah. And I honestly, like, even in the night when I pray, because I pray, so even in the night when I pray, I thank like God every time. I just say like, you know what? Thank you, because I felt pretty lost, when I was like back then, like a year ago from now. I would say like I didn't know what it was that I wanted to do, what I wanted to choose. But now that I think I found it, I look back and I pray, and I look back and I like to say I got the blessings that I prayed for. I used to pray for it, so I got the blessing that I prayed for, and it's just a good feeling. I feel like everything aligns little by little, and everything has its own time. So
Mhm.
it's a good feeling.
Yeah, man.
So
God is good. God is good. Last
uh,
question I have for you is, for the audience, everyone listening now is trying to get into tech sales like you just did. What would you tell them to do differently starting tomorrow? Like, what's one thing they can go implement tomorrow to start getting different results?
one thing that you can do different, volume. I would say just stay inconsistent. I probably had those. I've had those days. I remember I told you too when I first joined. I took like a 2 week break the off applying jobs and everything because it got very stressful. I wasn't seeing any results. So, and I think it's just when people who are probably in the program right now going through that phase of where they're thinking, how I was thinking, is this for me? Like I don't know if I made the right choice or anything. I would say just stick it through, just stay consistent with following the system and not letting those thoughts get to your head. And then also more communication with you as well. That would probably be a thing. I don't know, I was pretty I was pretty bad on communication, but I would say yeah, that's probably a thing. Staying having someone there, to communicate with, and also probably talking to other people in the program as well, and just getting to know who's around you, and just some words of encouragement and all that.
Mhm.
So staying consistent, and then communication would be probably two things I would say
Yeah.
that you could that really be helpful.
Yeah. 100%, man. Is there, just as we close here, is there anything else you want the listeners to know as we wrap up?
Mm, No, that's pretty much it. I would say, yeah, just stay consistent. I know it's gonna get to you, like not seeing results, but it works out in the end. So that's probably I would say
Awesome.
is just don't give up.
Awesome.
Pretty cliche, but it works.
Well, congratulations to you. You didn't give up. You more than doubled your income because of it. And yeah, like I said, your next 10 years are going to be wildly different than your last 10 years. And
Yeah,
you're new in the role and you're already booking meetings, man. So let's go. You're on a hot start.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for trusting me to help you with your career, man. It was a blast. You're not going to be a stranger. You're part of the sword community forever for the rest of your career. So anything you need, we're going to be right here
Mhm.
to help you. And then you should have also gotten access to the full first 90-day SDR training. Did you get access to that?
Uh,
I can
I
drop
think
you that
so.
link.
You probably gotta send it over or something. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you can do that.
Good. I'll send that over. Make sure you implement that. That's going to help you promote way faster than anyone else. So, yeah, man,
All right.
congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I want to thank you as well, for helping me get to this point as well. So couldn't have done it without God, and then also you as well, having a mentor there, somebody there to help me. So want to thank you as well.
Amen, bro.